I honestly thought he wasn't going to get the book. I thought it was going to be like just a millisecond away from being able to solve this crisis. But no, like he got the book, and I mean, what a cliffhanger. I mean, Astolfo, among other characters, are definitely more than meets the eye. And after seeing the backstory of Astolfo, the hatred towards vampires, and I think the moments afterwards when he's like desperately trying to kill Noe, is making a lot of sense. I mean, I think the idea of hatred and kind of breeds hatred, the cycle of hatred, it goes strong in this show, and seeing what happened, basically having two different teachings, a very strong mother figure saying, you know, be kind and show kindness to people, and a very kind of brutal father figure saying, you know, we kill vampires. I actually thought that what was going to happen in that backstory initially was we see a wounded vampire, right? And this is a situation. Which side do you go on? Do you turn him over, or do you kill him yourself, or do you help the injured vampire? And the fact that they went with the helping route, what I thought was going to happen was like, you know, maybe the father or something was going to try killing it, he would defend himself, and then in return there'd be like some confusion, like basically, oh, he killed someone I care about, so therefore vampires are evil. And I was like, okay, I mean, that ain't going to change much of my opinion on good old Astolfo over here. But to see the lengths he went to just show kindness and to be kind, and how there really wasn't an ounce of like negativity in the air, in my opinion. Like, it wasn't like he immediately gave side eyes or anything. So it's more of like there's got to be something I'm missing. Like, there's going to be a force that shatters this boy's perspective. And because he's at such a young age, that thought's going to carry through all the way into his adult life. And to see that, you know, taking that kindness, this is now the second time in 2 days that I've seen very kind people get betrayed in the worst possible ways. Saw it last episode in Ranking of Kings, and I just saw it here again with Case Study. And the idea that they took advantage of that and mocked him as like just brutally killing, I mean, it's one of those things where, yes, should you generalize and basically stereotype an entire species? No. But I mean, it's a little different when it does come to vampires and you really did give them the benefit of the doubt and you basically just think they're all lying, skeeving bastards. It's completely understandable why he has such a hatred that he wants to kill and purge the world in such a psychotic way. And it definitely makes past comments that our boy Vanitas has said towards Astolfo a lot more devastating, because, you know, poking fun in the way that he does, now learning his backstory, it actually comes across as a lot more cruel. Now, hindsight's kind of 20/20, but still, like, what a backstory. I'd actually go as far to say this might be one of the most memorable backstories that we've seen in this, up there with Noe himself, if I'm being honest, because it was quite devastating and really had twists and turns I wasn't expecting. And when it came to, like, the first, I think it was like 3.5 minutes before the opening kicked in, seeing a bit more about our boy kind of saving John before kind of hit the fan, I guess is how you could put it. Just seeing how she is so down in her luck, just wanting to lock herself away because basically if she desires anything, people suffer in the process, and just seeing how much they are lovebirds together. The fact that not only did he pull her away from that darkness, we end the episode with them together in this kind of like romantic badass way. And honestly, I'm not sure how they're going to succeed or fail, or something maybe more in the middle, because it kind of feels like we're back in the victory zone. I mean, we got the book back, that's a big factor, but ultimately, like, it's a little too good to be true right now, so something truly devastating has to happen. I mean, John Jack and, our girl Chloe over here. The poor girl just has always wanted to die and basically atone for what she sees as sins. Those creature bot things, the automatons that she made, are going to be used to kill her when it was all said and done, and the fact that she believes that John Jack needs to be free from her, and, you know, that's the original reason why they saved Noe, because she's like, oh yeah, you're going to need a friend when this is all over. And that kind of like build-up of him after getting slashed by Astolfo, and then just building up, being like, do you think there's any future without you? What a beautifully directed scene. I mean, there are so many moments in this episode where they really went in with the art design, and the special effects to kind of give it that animation flair there was so well done. From just Chloe kind of becoming like a demonic white force, to then kind of breaking through into her more human-like form, to just the numerous sequences of horror and pure thrill. It was mostly a pretty dramatic and devastating episode with not a lot of fluff. There was honestly very little fluff. The most fluff there was the first 3 minutes of taking a trapped girl and turning her back into the beautiful woman she is, and also the calm before the storm that was the Astolfo backstory of a little kid just trying to be good and live up to the mother's expectations of what someone should be, and in return, the father's words become more true when you see the type of shit that went on. I mean, ever since this show came back with episode 1 of Core 2 here, I was like, damn, like this show is just a roller coaster. I really hope the momentum doesn't let up. And it hasn't. We're now halfway through this core, and really, like, it is so good to see how it's not just like revealing twists or it's just like doing big shocking moments just for the thrill factor. There's tons of shows that come out where they do just pull like plot twists or they unexpectedly change the narrative or your perception of a character, but there's no either foreshadowing or the reveal that they're giving you isn't justifiable enough to make prior actions like not okay, but understand how they got there. But I think Astolfo is one of the best examples of everything here, right? You know, there's so many times he's been unjustified with his actions and hatreds towards Vampire. I think Nguyen's a great example. But when you consider the childhood and how he was raised and the conflicting feelings and then seeing everyone you love slaughtered because a vampire took advantage of kindness, kindness isn't going to be something you're going to easily give away after that. And when you join up with an organization that's just simply there to kill vampires, you completely understand, and it justifies in a way without excusing is how I'd put it. And I really like that about this, or even just John Jack and Chloe's relationship and how like everything came to be with the Beast. Why Nguyen was saved, and just the idea of her kind of like almost pulled away demeanor because John Jack clearly like loves Chloe, but why is she trying to be so distant from him? Well, she wants to kill herself when this is all over to atone for the sins that she thinks she's committed. It's a pretty tragic story. Like, really, Case Study is basically just tragedy. It's something like, you know, this could very well have been like a classic literature book back in the day, you know, when Romeo and Juliet was kind of written, right? But it's just so great to see that this show isn't just about pulling those twists, it's about setting it up, laying a perfect foundation, a nice bridge to cross, and that bridge just kind of casually seeing the scenery, the scenes at play, which is mainly Core 1, very enjoyable, well thought out, funny, action-packed, romantic, and then Core 2 comes along, and we reflect on that journey while seeing the land across that bridge, and it makes the entire package of both Core 1 and now half of Core 2 some masterpiece level storytelling, if I'm being honest, and I really enjoy what Studio Bones is doing. Voice actors continuing to knock it out of the park. I love the production value of this show, and it's just great that I actually enjoy looking and focusing on every major character at play this season here. I actually also mentioned this in my ranking of Kings. I've actually mentioned it a couple of times just because I want to own the Blu-ray so much, but I'm not going to lie. This is actually something that I'd actually consider buying a Blu-ray for as well, because it's one of those things that not only is there not necessarily enough manga to continue, like, you know, next year or the year after for another Core 2, it's one of those things that you definitely feel like you want to support in the long run, because not only do you want to, you know, remind publishers and distributors like Funimation that, you know, even if it's been gone for a year or two, we would like to see more of this. It's just such a compelling show that, you know, when I compare my feelings for, like, Core 1, the first 12 episodes, I was passionate about it, but it's something about the payoff this time that makes me a diehard fan is probably the best way to put it. And I don't actually purchase a lot of Blu-rays, only for like the top shows out there for me. But honestly, there's something about this one that I think it'd be a real criminal shame if this one didn't continue a couple years from now someday, and we got to see more of these characters in anime form. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there because it's something I'm actually considering, you know, purchasing whenever probably Funimation releases a Blu-ray or anything like that. I'm really, really enjoying it. And of course, you know, I'm excited to see where the hell they're going to go after the cliffhangers they continue to pull. Thoughts and feelings though, whether you're a fan of that manga or anime original like myself, leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here. Till next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.